That means more opportunity for newcoming drivers. Companies are setting out competitive pay and signing bonuses to lure in drivers to earn an above-average wage. Newly hired truck drivers earn an average of $70,000 to $100,000 a year.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change routinely brings together the work of thousands of experts to create comprehensive climate change assessments. According to a synthesis report released last week, global greenhouse gas emissions must be quickly cut to keep global warming below the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal set by the Paris Climate Agreement. UNO Sustainability Minor Director, Dr. Elizabeth Chalecki, says that if humanity limits warming to 1.5 degrees, the risks may be manageable.
We let it go beyond that. If we go to 2 degrees warming or beyond, then the risks start coming thick and fast to us, and the negative outcomes may be beyond what we can control or even adapt to.
If world governments continue on their current paths, the panel projects global temperatures will rise by about 3.2 degrees Celsius.
First National Bank off 175th and Center was robbed by 2 men at gunpoint on January 26. The 2 suspects made off with $350,000 in cash, but were later caught by police thanks to multiple anonymous tips. Reporter Matt Deflison gives us a look into how financial institutions deal with and prepare for robberies at Liberty First Credit Union.
Thanks, Danny. While Liberty First Credit Union hasn't dealt with a robbery here, they play an active role in being prepared for one, along with staying in constant communication with other financial institutions. Bank robberies are at record lows, but there's still a high prolific crime. In 2021, Nebraska had 238 reported robberies, according to Statista. In fact, 2 suspects have recently been arrested for a robbery in Omaha from January. Movies have portrayed robberies with loads of action and thickening plots, but lead teller Brittany Still says the goal is to be as quick as possible to ensure safety.
We try and get them out as fast as we can. We are insured, so it's not like it's going to be that much of a problem for us. And we do have security things that could help get them caught if they were to disperse that money.
Robbers often visit the place or places of interest days beforehand, essentially getting a scouting report, otherwise known as casing. However, financial institutions report or note any suspicious behavior and communicate it with each other across the entire state. So, a credit union in Lincoln may find out if I'm here with a camera for too long.
Watch people as they walk in the door. We want to always make sure we interact with them. As they're just 5 feet inside the building and then another 10 feet inside. They're aware that we're there.
Liberty First Credit Union branch manager Zach Lake says financial institutions are always in contact.
We communicate with all of the credit unions and banks across Omaha and actually even across Nebraska. Just let them know there's a possible casing coming out. Maybe they're hitting multiple at one time, things like that. Just so they're aware, and those things go out instantly to all of our emails, all the managers' emails.
Still also said their credit union trains twice a year for these situations, including 24/7 access to it online. Lake also mentioned how these decisions to rob banks and credit unions are made for very short-term solutions to possible economic hardships, possibly facing the middle and lower class across the state and country. Back to you in the studio.
After the break, learn how independent journalists are making use of new technologies to make their voices heard.
Coming up, an animal-assisted therapy program aims to provide support to the community. Join us to learn more.
IT is so broad that it's not just coding. It can be applied in so many different ways in different areas.
Technology impacts a lot of different things, a lot of different people, and if you can truly put yourself in their shoes and trying to solve that problem, just understanding that why is truly important.
UNO is one of those places where you can come and really get involved in whatever you want.
I ended up taking a bioinformatics class, and I ended up with an MD PhD. I can do both the research and I can help people.
I chose the College of IS&T because it was my dream to become a data manager, and this college fits the best.
They're really the best people to be teaching the classes because they know and have worked in the field.
There's always a people factor, and getting people that are interested in your development is key to your success.
It's a super fun activity. The group only rehearses as needed to prepare for the music that they provide at games. And we're always looking for ways to continue showing what the very talented students in the Maverick Machine are capable of.
I really enjoy doing pep band because it's music that is very familiar to me.
"40 years ago, Jim and Donna Huffman started the annual Spring and Autumn Arts and Crafts Festival. Reporter Abigail Plojek takes us to the scene in Ralston, Nebraska.
From lawn ornament sculptures to barbecue samples, the Spring Arts and Crafts Festival has it all. From March 24th to the 26th, creatives showcased their best work with smiles. Every section of Ralston Arena was filled with tents that included paintings, sculptures, and fabrics. Jennifer Folan, daughter of Jim and Donna Huffman, says that the company expects around 12,000 visitors and 300 vendors each year.
In the spring, we usually draw around 12,000 people over the 3 days.
Jim Huffman's dream was to create a festival where artists from around the country could showcase their work and meet other vendors at the same time. Before Huffman Productions was created, arts and crafts fairs were normally held in high school gymnasiums or church basements. Huffman's creation began with just 50 vendors and has since grown to a highly anticipated event each year. So, if you're a baker, a painter, or just plain creative and you missed the Spring Arts and Crafts Festival, don't worry. Huffman Productions has already announced their fall dates from November 2nd through the 5th at the Liberty First Credit Union in Ralston Arena. Who wants to buy this? Some vendors travel the country full-time with their artwork, like John Jarouse, who specializes in personalized cartoons, while others randomly picked up the hobby, like Robin Hesselgesser, who found her creative side when she was unable to find the perfect piece for her home.
A couple weeks later, I had to get together, and a lady who I'd never met before asked me where I got it. I told her the story. She left that night with the painting in her car. For the Omaha News, I'm Abigail Plojek.
For more information on upcoming events hosted by Huffman Productions, you can visit their website at hpifestivals.com.
With the advent of new technology, the way news and information is consumed continues to change. Josue Garcia shows us how this change is giving unheard stories a widespread voice.
As media consumption patterns change, the evolving ways stories are shared create new perceptions on traditional media. Podcasts, blogs, and now AI provide platforms for independent journalists to reach a wider audience. Former journalist and owner of a local podcasting studio, Margie Sturgeon, says there are problems both inside and outside the industry.
For one thing, they're under-resourced constantly, and just this latest round of headlines about more layoffs in newsrooms. Then there's also the gatekeeping of information. People are losing trust in their local journalism and ability to cover their community and speak for the whole community as well.
Those aren't wild claims. A UNO study examining The Economist's media credibility finds these same exact problems, saying journalists no longer control who gets to play.
This lack of representation can leave many communities feeling misunderstood. KVNO director Gabriel Escaleras says that Omaha has a need for ethnic voices to be heard in journalism.
They make their income on what they can sell. And if that's not an option, they're not going to take chances sometimes, right? There was a lot of misunderstanding. There's a lot of people looking for information. But it was just one of the things that added more to the sort of a problem that there was out there, not having enough journalists or communicators.
The Reader and El Perico are local papers giving these voices a spotlight. With the help of local demand, this type of journalism is here to stay. For the Omaha News, I'm Josue Garcia.
Other independent news outlets like Flatwater Free Press and Noise Omaha are locally founded, operated, and funded.
With all the division in the world, animals will always be there to give us unconditional love. A local petting zoo is doing their part to rescue animals and humans alike.
Scatter Joy Acres in Murray, Nebraska started 16 years ago by Joy Bartling because of her own love for animals. With the same license as the Henry Doorly Zoo, the sanctuary is able to call itself home to over 65 animals, from horses to an ostrich. Being a petting zoo, they're able to offer experiences you wouldn't get from the Henry Doorly.
And we bring them in for education purposes, where you don't always get to pet a kangaroo or hang out with a porcupine.
And those are experiences that people get to have, and they always have memories of those.
SJA is part of a trauma response team, so they are alerted of any catastrophic events nationwide where they can help any animals caught in the rubble.
Anyone with a pet knows they're good for more than just looking cute. That's why Scatterjoy Acres offers an animal-assisted therapy program that can help people with mental health conditions from depression to PTSD. Hi!
Animal therapy has been provided from the start and has always been a core mission of the zoo. Justin Starling has been a volunteer and patron for 6 years and was referred after traditional therapy wasn't working out.
With animals, they don't judge the way you act. If you have mental or physical problems, they don't judge that. People do.
Bartling says animals serve as a connection between people and oftentimes become the stories of these individuals. She also says animal-assisted therapy has a 98% success rate because people hurt people, so it's hard to then sit in a room and talk with another person. Animals can change that. In 2022, Scatterjoy Acres rescued, vetted, and homed 458 dogs and 128 cats.
Do certain animals work better for therapy than others?
The short answer is no. The longer answer is it really just depends on the person. You have dogs and cats. Obviously, if someone is more freaked out by larger animals, you wouldn't want to bring in a horse, but it's just a matter of who connects with what. Justin told me that he really likes to hang out with the birds because he can relate to the chickens, so it all just comes down to the individual.
Thanks, Zach.
After the break, the Harlem Globetrotters stop in Omaha on their world tour.
Coming up, LB 588 is the newest piece of legislation looking to legalize medical marijuana in Nebraska.
I'm a veteran, wear my battle scars like a letterman's. I done crawled through the mud both streets, so I wouldn't underestimate me.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
Hey, I'm Gillard Damian. After 25 years as a boys basketball head coach at Bellevue West, Doug Woodard is calling it a career. He went all out when his Thunderbirds won the state title against Millard North.
Bellevue West head coach Doug Woodard has won it all, but even when it was time for him to call it a career, his focus is on the players and what they accomplished. He says he did not tell his team his plan to retire until they had won his 7th state championship. It is this mindset that former Thunderbird Frankie Fiddler says helped mold him into the competitor he is today.
His mentality at practices and during games really wore off on me and kind of just helped me become, help my work ethic grow and for me to become the player I am today.
During his time as head coach for the Thunderbirds, Coach Woodard has helped 25 players go on to play college basketball. Even on this year's roster, Bellevue West has Josiah Dotzler, who's committed to play at Creighton, and Jaden Jackson, who is garnering Division I interest. Coach Doug Woodard says one of the best parts about his job is being able to watch former players play against each other at the Division I level. This was something he was able to do when South Dakota State took on UNO. William Kyle plays for the Jacks, and Frankie Fiddler plays for the Mavericks.
We took the team over to
because most of those guys had been teammates of both of those guys, and all of them had been teammates of William. So it just was almost surreal seeing them out there on the court battling each other, but yeah, it is very rewarding.
Coach Woodard says that this was the right time to retire, as he has 13 grandchildren that he wants to spend time with. Another aspect to it is that coaching requires high energy, and it is time for him to go at a slower pace. For the Omaha News, I'm Mitchell Kutcher.
Doug Woodard says that family gatherings can get a bit hectic with 13 children running around, but it's also what he's looking forward to the most in his retirement. According to History.com, the Harlem Globetrotters originated in Chicago in 1926. They continue to play around the world today, including right here in Omaha.
The Harlem Globetrotters made a stop at Baxter Arena for their 2023 World Tour. They claim to be a show you can't look away from, with rim-rattling dunks and side-splitting comedy.
Smell it.
The team was founded in the 1920s and are soon approaching their 100th anniversary. Since being founded, they have entertained over 148 million fans in 123 territories and countries worldwide. Baxter Arena AV technician Jim Eisel is a camera operator for the show. He says he saw the Globetrotters over 15 years ago and will now witness the show behind the scenes.
Because obviously I'm not going to be in the crowd. I'm going to be seeing it through a lens. I'm really, really excited to be a part of it and excited to see what they're going to bring with this new, 15 years later, what it's going to look like.
The Harlem Globetrotters used to play serious basketball back in the 1930s. Now they're more known for their funny skits and insane tricks. Event attendee Kelly Alabi took his son to the show with a premium experience called Magic Pass. This is the VIP experience in which attendees can take part in special events before the game. Kelly says he saw the Harlem Globetrotters when he was young and wanted to do the same for his son.
I went and saw them at the Civic Auditorium downtown in Omaha, so I just had some good memories of that. Decided it'd be a good opportunity to share with the kid.
In total, about 750 men and women have played for the Harlem Globetrotters. Swish. For the Omaha News, I'm Faith Stuskevich.
The Harlem Globetrotters will end their world tour in Wetzlar, Germany on October 8th, 2023. The Omaha's men's soccer team has reached a massive rate of diversification. If you consider the previous 2 seasons, Omaha has had at least one player from each continent, excluding Antarctica. Among those players is Dominic Donis.
From training with the first team of a professional club in Slovakia to playing Division I soccer in the United States, that's the story of Dominic Donis. Born in Banoche nad Bebravo, Slovakia, Donis was signed in 2018 by FK Pokronie. Donis was in First Division, a dream come true for any footballer, but was not having enough playing time, and he needed to make a decision.
In Slovakia, you cannot do both things. You cannot go to college and stay at high level.
He heard from friends that in the United States you could do this, and in 2019, his application process began. Donis passed the required English exams, made his highlight video, and sent emails. Lots of emails.
I think it was over 1,000 emails that I sent into colleges.
Until in 2020, he received a call from Bob Orming, and Donis joined the Mavericks. Donis became a starter and a team leader. During his first year, he helped UNO win the Summit League tournament and reach the second round in the NCAA tournament. For the last 2 seasons, Donis became a key player in the UNO defense.
Unfortunately for Omaha, Dominic Donis' Maverick cycle has ended. He has transferred to Marquette, a move that will have a huge impact on the Omaha locker room. Next week, we'll have part 2 of the story and how this has affected the portal. How the transfer portal has changed college athletics. That's all for sports this week. We'll have more sports from around the Omaha Metro for you next week. After the break, this week's final headlines.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The two hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
LB 588 is the newest piece of legislation looking to legalize medical marijuana in Nebraska. Reporter Madison Bonin sits down with two moms whose sons' lives would be completely changed with the legalization of medical marijuana.
Teddy Bronson and Jalen Hutchstein are two normal little boys living with intractable epilepsy, a seizure disorder where medicine does not work to stop them. Coined by the National Library for Medicine as neurology's silent killer, the drug-resistant disease makes up for 30% of people diagnosed. But according to the Epilepsy Foundation, there is a drug that has been proven in multiple studies to stop drug-resistant epilepsy seizures. That drug is medical marijuana. Jayan's mom, Nicole Hutchstein, says they have tried countless medicine combinations for Jayan and many brain surgeries to try and stop his seizures, but they keep returning. Teddy's mom, Elizabeth Bronson, says that after many surgeries and medicines not working, the legalization of medical marijuana would give Teddy a shot he might not have without it.
Giving our family the opportunity for medicinal cannabis can change my son's life because he can still be living. I'm convinced without implanting Teddy a year ago, I don't know that he would have saw his 5th birthday.
Regardless of what happens to LB 588, which currently still needs to be voted on by the Judiciary Committee, Nicole and Elizabeth both agree they will never give up trying to get medical marijuana legalized, because giving up would mean giving up on their kids.
Our fight will continue, and as battered and torn and worn as we all are, I can't give up for him because that's not an option. I can't go back to my son and say, that's it.
For the Omaha News, I'm Madison Bonin.
CBD and Delta-8 shops are becoming more prominent, but since they aren't federally regulated, there isn't quite a safe alternative to medical marijuana for those needing a prescription.
Astronomers have recently discovered one of the largest black holes ever detected using a new technique. The Royal Astronomical Society, the team that made the discovery, says that the black hole is over 30 billion times the mass of the Sun. Lead study author James Nightingale of Durham University says that this discovery could lead to further black hole detection beyond our universe and could deepen our understanding of the cosmos as a whole.
The U.S. Food and Drug Association has approved the selling of the leading version of naloxone without a prescription, which is on track to become the first overdose reversing drug to be sold over the counter. Naloxone is an approved nasal spray that can be reverse overdoses, opioids like fentanyl and heroin. Making naloxone more available will help reduce the nationwide overdose, which currently sees more than 100,000 deaths a year in the United States. First responders and police officers currently have access to the drug to help those in need.
That's all for today. Join us again next week for more news and entertainment in the Heartland.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at the UNO Omaha News, or find us on our website for even more news and stories at unoomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
News. We are Omaha.
The complex was condemned by the city in January for numerous safety reasons.
We are truth tellers and award winners.
They process and recycle approximately 100,000 tons of material.
We are a community of strength and a team of big dreams. We are the Omaha News, where the people are the story.
It is the longest-running Omaha-based statewide television program on the air today. Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Wyatt, producer and host of Consider This. Now in our 25th season, we wish to acknowledge those who have made this educational journey possible. Our guests, underwriters, student crews, the Knowledge Network, the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and of course, viewers just like you. Thank you for watching.
3,000 student athletes from 10 institutions, competing in 19 sports for national prominence, striving for excellence in academics and athletics, seeking to become champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate Summit League student athletes and their rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders strive to reach the summit today.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.